All right, guys. Uh, this is the workout from this morning. It's Saturday. We made it to the end of the workout week. Rest day tomorrow on Sunday. So, yeah, I'm just thrilled to be at this point. It was a good, hard week of workouts. Body is sore. I think I got just about every part of my body sore. So, yeah, before I get into too much there, yeah, I'm glad that at the beginning of this workout I get to do some muscle ups there. So yeah, I'm not stringing them together. It's just one at a time. But yeah, so you guys can get to see some muscle ups without having to get clear to the end of a video. There is some at the end as well. But yeah, so. Um, Let's see here. I don't like the sound of this audio on these shocks as good as I like where it picks it up off the computer. I probably should get a better mic at some point, but yeah, we got kids home today. Looks like Madeline just got home. So yeah, they were had a cheer competition this morning, and so she was coaching, and the two younger girls were competing, and so the boys and we kind of had the house to ourselves, and they're all kind of starting to get back, but had to get this done, and that's Chelsea telling me that she's almost back. So, anyways, we're gonna get interrupted, but that's okay. This workout is from the CrossFit Open. It was in 2020. It was the last workout, so 20.5. Um, it is, you can break these reps up any way you want. So it's 40 ring muscle ups, 80 calories on the rower, and 120 wall balls. And so they said just split it up however you want. You can do all of these, all of these, all of these. You can, yeah, split them up and do one, or however much you want to break it up. Um, let's see here. Your tie break, so it was a 20-minute time cap. If you didn't finish it, if you finished it, your score was your time. If you didn't, your score was how many reps you got. But they figured that the 40 ring muscle ups was going to be the sticking point for most people. So your tie break was your time when you finished both, when you had all the wall balls finished and all of the rowing finished. And so um, you had to be a little bit strategic with how you broke that up. Oh, now I'm getting a phone call here. Um, so, anyways, you I mean, ideally you'd do those muscle ups when you're your freshest, and I probably could have kept going there on those muscle ups, but the time's ticking on this other stuff, and so I don't know if I had 10 different opportunities to try this workout, I might try a few different strategies on it, but this is kind of the route that I picked this time. I think I got 4 muscle ups there in that first minute. I just said, hey, I'm going to give myself a minute to do some muscle ups. I wanted to get 3, 4, or 5, and then get on that rower. And my goal was to bounce back and forth between these wall balls and the rower. I was doing 20 calories on the rower, which is about a minute, and then hopping over onto these wall balls. And I think doing 40 of those, I wanted to have that take about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And I beat that every time on the wall balls. And so I was a little bit slower than what I had written down there on the board um, with the rower, and a little bit faster on the wall balls. Now, the wall balls, they were supposed to be 10-foot target, 20-pound ball. And you guys have seen some of these previous videos, and I got to go out into the stairwell and walk up the stairwell and do the wall balls out there, and then there's nobody on the video. And Saturday mornings, there's not a lot going on. Dan was already done and left. I think Josh is in this video. Blake, he usually moves kind of slow on Saturday mornings. Yep, there's Josh. So anyways, I'm like, there's not gonna be anything for people to watch, so I'm gonna do the 30-pound ball. So that's a 30-pound slam ball is what they call those, and just go to the ceiling, which is 9 foot 3 inches. The cycle rate's a little different, so the breathing's a little different, but it was the spirit of it. So, I'm trying to think anything else here. I had a goal on this workout of doing 221 reps. So there's 200 reps of wall balls and rower, and then I wanted to get 21 of the 40 muscle ups. So that would have put me that year in the 84th percentile, which I was thinking that's a pretty good thing to shoot for. So um, I end up missing it. I got 214, so I did those initial 4, and then I get 10 more at the end. I miss, I think, 2 as I'm doing that, fail 2 of those. I end up with, let's see here, in the 78th percentile. So still a pretty good score, especially with as sore as my body is and as kind of wore out as I am from the week here. But yeah, good workout as far as pushing you and some pretty good movements here. I wanted to, while I've got some time here, talk about the squat. So when I get back on these wall balls, you guys will see I'm trying to get below parallel. So the crease of my hip, I should say, in all these videos, pretty much all these videos, you're going to see my shirt tucked in. That is just a habit from wrestling. Like when we'd wrestle, we'd tuck our shirts in. That was something that the coaches way back from when we were little kids told us, hey, tuck your shirt in so that your partner's finger's not getting wrapped up in it and broke. So you're trying to reduce the chance of catching a finger or whatever. So that's what the shirt tucked in is all about. But it does give a better view in CrossFit of the hip crease and if that's going down below parallel. And so when I'm doing these, I will tell you, I feel like my butt is on the ground and I am like way below parallel. And then I watch these videos and I'm like, oh my gosh, you are really riding a fine line there. But I've slowed it down and looked, and I'm getting on that last little dip at the end of that. I'm hitting below parallel, and and I should reread the article. So Greg Glassman, back when he was kind of first starting CrossFit, he spent a lot of effort trying to define. There's a great article called "What is Fitness?" So defining what it means to be fit. Before him, I don't know that anybody really from any of these other disciplines of exercise or competition could have articulated it into words. Everybody's got different metrics that they look at. VO2 max is a big one. But anyways, that article, What is Fitness? It's got some really interesting ways of looking at how you define that, and how you think about that for yourself. So I'd really recommend that. But anyways, one of his other articles that he had in the CrossFit Journal was about the squat, and that is really interesting, in him talking about squatting below parallel. And so I need to reread it before I talk to you guys too much about it. But if you get a chance, read that squat article. It will convince you that that you should be squatting below parallel. And I read a book here a while back called The Comfort Crisis. It was recommended to me by Dan, and the premise basically is that our nice, soft, modern lives are killing us. Chelsea's home. Recording a video here for my workout. That's fine. She's traveling. She can look like crap. So yeah, the girls were down in Kansas City in that competition. So yeah, good trip. Improved their score by 17 points from the previous competition. I don't know what that means. Good. I don't know if you guys can hear them at all. But anyways, yeah, they did great. Um, okay, so back to that comfort crisis. Um, you think in relation to the squat, so our modern lives, the softness of them is killing us. And you think about that squatting below parallel, how much before we had chairs, before we had beds that were 3.5 feet or 4 feet off the ground, and we just slid our legs off the side to stand up. Before we had toilets, before we had um, just couches and all this stuff that we sit on and use to keep from going below parallel with our squat. Um, we were below parallel squatting all the time. One of the really good arguments he makes in there is if you are sitting down on the ground, your knee hip joint is going to get in a below parallel uh, orientation to get up off the ground unless you do some really weird rollover and kind of inchworm your way up off the ground. So, anyways, it's a good argument for it. I'll talk a little bit more on it at some later point when I get refreshed on that article. But it's a big deal. Like when you think about fitness and can you do as much as you possibly want to do with your body, you should be able to squat below parallel. So that's your mobility, that's your strength, and that's the strength and soundness of those joints. So and the soundness of your movement pattern as you do that. So watch on these wall balls. I don't know if you can see my mouth as I'm kind of breathing there, but one of the things that is a little bit weird on these loads that are in front of you and kind of on top of your shoulders and are lightweight. So normally when you're lifting, you're bracing. So the squat, back squat, you think about it, you've got that weight on your back and you go down, you're getting ready to go down to squat. You take that big breath and you hold it and you're bracing your core. You're tightening that whole core up so that as you go down and you get a little bit of forward lean, you're not crumpling under that weight. So that's bracing, and that's why people wear the weight belts. That helps with the bracing, to have something to kind of push against with your abdominal muscles. And so anyways, you take that breath as you go down and you blow it out as you come up or at the top of the rep. And you do the same thing with heavy bench pressing with your deadlift. You brace and then you're lifting until you get to the top, and then you can let that breath out. So on these wall balls, I'm doing it the opposite here. So, and it's really weird and it's really hard, but it really helped me today. And I had this figure out on thrusters a while back, and I forget and I start breathing wrong, and then I run out of breath. But yeah, I'm blowing out as I'm catching that ball, so I'm going all the way down, and then as I'm starting to come up, I'm going. And as I get that last bit of weight off of me, I'm finishing taking the rest of that big breath, and then I've got that whole time waiting for that ball to come back down with my lungs as filled up and as little pressure on them as I possibly can. And it felt really good today doing those wall balls. So I figured those times based off of previous wall balls, previous rows, and so I paced that out from previous stuff, and I was able to beat it today. So my tie break time, I wanted to be at 15 minutes, and I ended up being at 14:49. So yeah, I felt really good about the wall balls. Again, I don't know on that movement. I know it's shorter, so that's quicker, but it's quicker, so you're breathing harder, you're working harder and faster. So yeah, we'll see when I have to do this. I'm sure wall balls are going to pop up in the open this year again. They always do, and yeah, we'll see if when I'm doing it to the 10 foot, if that breathing uh, works out as good. So yeah, I decide right there. I'm like, okay, I can get this in under 15 minutes. I'm going to try and get this in under 15 minutes, and I got it. So, and I thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna push hard there, and if it takes me a minute, which it did, to kind of recoup, write my tie break time down, get my grips turned around, get chalked up, no big deal. Catch my breath and get a few muscle ups. I was not in my trying to get 21 reps. I really was not thinking about a full minute of writing score down, getting grips turned around, getting chalk on them, catching my breath there. I was really hoping to use that minute to get 3 is what I was after. So I originally thought if I could have that 5 minutes and get 3 a minute, that'd put me at 15. I had originally written down I was going to do 3 at the beginning. That would have put me at 18. And then I thought I could eke out 3 more reps somewhere in there. So, yeah, that's, you set a goal that's maybe a little bit bigger than what you can get, which that's fine. And I did push it. I failed some of these, and a lot of the failures, it's just technique breaking down. You still probably have the muscular capacity to do it at that point. It's just your mind and your techniques goes as you get a little more tired. So I slowed all these reps down, and I was looking to see if these would have been no reps. They're very, very close. Several of these, and there's a couple of them you can see my toes go up above that beam there, and so those are definitely a no rep. I counted them for my score. I just about went over the top of the bar there. I got a little too far. I counted them on my score here because I'm still working on muscle ups as far as getting that technique down. I did figure out something on them today. Just waiting just a hair longer before I start my pull towards the bar. So yeah, if you slow these, don't slow these down. You can slow these down if you want to, but there's people who do muscle ups a lot better than me that you can slow down, and you can kind of see that you're hanging, and if this is your shoulder joint here, you're doing like this lever, and you're swinging, and so as you swing and you start levering, you kind of want to wait till you're kind of well behind that bar before you start pulling yourself to the bar, at the elbow there. So you want to keep that arm as straight as you can for as long as you can, I guess. I don't know. The other cue that really helped me on muscle ups, and that's a word I should use a lot more on here for anybody who's trying to get these higher skill movements, is cue. Or in other words, what sort of things do you think about and are you trying to get or to do as you're going through that movement that's happening really fast? So as you watch me do this, the cue that helped me was get your head over the bar. So you kind of start coming up and get that head up over the bar as quick as you can there. Yeah, I'm starting to break down on the technique there, and I think I'm about to miss one or two here. So, but yeah, getting that head over the bar, keeping those arms straight until you have levered down as much as you can there. Yep, there's a miss. Those misses are painful. You just slam your chest right into that bar. Here we go. We're going to miss again because obviously I did not rest long enough. Less painful miss because I didn't put any effort into it. Oh, man. Yeah, this is, I don't know. I think back to like when I was younger and in good shape, and like how good my body moved at that point, and I wish I would have known a lot more about what was possible as far as like different things you can try and do with your body. I never did a muscle up when I was a kid. Like I didn't never heard the term before. So it was fun thinking, okay, this is something that I've never done, and I'll give it a try, and being able to get that. But yeah, if there's anything that you haven't done in a while or something that you catch wind of like this, and you want to do it, I don't think it's ever too late. Um, yeah, I'm over 40 and doing my first muscle ups. Um, hey, into the training week, feeling beat up, but I am not injured, guys, and that's a big deal. I'm feeling pretty good because that's a pretty dynamic workout. So, hey guys, I'll let you go here as this video gets over. Uh, Congratulations to Grace and Jane on improving their score at their cheer competition, and we will see you guys next week, hopefully on Monday when I get another good workout in. Thanks.